It went live already. Oops. Did I press live already? Oh my goodness. Yes, I did. Okay. Hi. Welcome to my live stream. My name's Hannah from Reality Awareness. If you guys don't know me, welcome. If this is your first time, please say hi. Let me know where you're from in the world. I want to know where you are from. Yes, I do. I do. All right. I was just looking. I was trying to log in on my laptop, and then I was like, oh, why isn't this working? And then I'm like, oh, that's right, I went live. Whoops. Hi guys. Hi. Okay. Oh, there's no internet. Of course there isn't. Turn that amazing thing called Wi-Fi on, shall we? Hi. All right. We are live. Okay. How's everyone feeling? It's like so windy here today. How's everyone feeling? Like yesterday, I was like a different person. Today I'm like, yes, oh, everything's amazing. What's that song? Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. You know that song? Please tell me there's some people who know what that song is and where it's from. Right. Okay, let me share this as always, and then I shall be present with you guys because super early bird for Trust Intuition increases this evening. So just in a few hours that investment will increase for Trust Intuition. Now I really want to talk today about why you doubt yourself even, right? So we're talking about Trust Intuition, but I want to talk about why you even doubt yourself and why you hide your gift away. Now you guys might know why, but how do you even stop that? Because you're like, but it happens again and again and again and again. Hey, beautifuls. Hello. Okay. So I'll like to share this. Trusting this will let me do it. And I was going to say, because the wind, like sometimes I just have enough wind and I'm like, I want to go outside, but I'm like, sometimes wind is good. Wind is really good for clearing your aura. Who's ever spent a good chunk of time in really windy conditions, like because you've maybe had to or maybe because you choose to, like spending time in lots of wind and then coming inside or coming back is like you feel really like refreshed, right? And the sense in that is because when you it literally blows energy out of your aura. Like you spend enough time in wind, it cleanses your aura, just like having a shower or anything like that. Like the wind clears yourself clears your aura. Yeah, you visualize the wind clearing energy. Ding. Confirmation of your intuition. love it, right? Okay, let me share this if I can find it somewhere. Okay. That's kind of why I put my laptop there, so I could do it, but for some reason I'm still using my phone. Okay. Because they're fully just use your laptop, Hannah, that's why you put it there. So that's awesome. Awesome confirmation for you, right, Lena, about doing that. Cleansing your aura. So we can use anything to clean our aura, yeah? So it's awesome to have that conscious understanding and awareness. So it's like and what I find with highly empathic people and highly clairsentient people and people who feel everything is that a lot of people think, oh, I don't see messages. Remember we spoke about this on Psychic Skills Activator, and I was like, but I bet you feel everything. Yeah, and the other thing with highly clairsentient people that I noticed, because I do this too, and someone pointed this out to me once upon a time, and it was like the best thing that they ever could have said to me, right? Is they said, I think you're like way more intuitive than you realize, Hannah. Like all these things that I was doing, he's like, they're all the things that I would be suggesting you to do, but you're already doing them. And the thing with highly clairsentient people and empathic people is we do things. They call it, you do it naturally. Oh, we just do it naturally, right? And that's like the thing with your feeling and clairsentient intuition is that you do it without even thinking about it because it's not a conscious, like, do you know what I mean? I always say like intuition is not conscious. I don't know about that. Intuition is not logical, right? It's a feeling, it's not logical, So especially for clairsentient people and empathic people, like you're feeling, you're already doing the thing before you're thinking about it. Like you might start doing it and you're like, oh, that's why I'm doing that, right? And that's your intuition working on that sense there. All right, still sharing. I'll be present in a second. I originally used to use it as a mind switch because I used to hate the wind, so it was a way to turn into positive. Yes. yes, so clairsentient, there you go. It's amazing about the wind, right? Yeah, I love the wind, but sometimes I've just like had enough of it and I just need a break of it. But I think that's because I just probably need a break more so about anything actually. Right, if this doesn't let me share, I'm okay, just not even gonna bother about that. Okay, just let it go. Let it go. All right, you're highly clairsentient. I love it, love it. So let me speak about this, right? And then I'm going to pull the winners for our draw last week. In a sense that, because this is leading into what I want to say about the reason you hide your gift from others and why you doubt yourself around things, yeah? When we're talking about our feeling self, now, whether you're highly intuitive and clairsentient or whether you're highly claircognizant, you're going to still have all the organs. Like we just do, right? We're always stronger in one of them. We learnt this on the Psychic Skills Activator. Now, with what is it called? Our feeling, you know how I say there's 10% conscious and 90% subconscious. Well, that, as I keep saying that, they say that that's changed to 30 and 70. Yeah. Now 70% is still a big chunk of subconscious. Now the thing that I really want to point out in the message I was guided to share was that, you know, this is something that happened to me time and time again, and I was just like, what is going on here? And then it dawned on me and I was like, oh my God. And it's been like the best tool for empaths to understand. And it, you know, it's another thing that takes the crazy out of your emotions, takes, you know, you doubting yourself out of the equation, right? And then it comes into mastery of this particular skill. Is that, give me some love hearts and let me know, yes, that's you. I'm going to talk in a conversation with someone, and I'm going to talk in a way that, you know, it could be anyone that you're talking to, okay? Now you intuitively talking away, just talking about whatever, right? Now, what happens is that you, as your highly clairsentient, feeling empath self who feels absolutely everything, now this is like the first step, yeah, is that you feel everything and maybe you say something, like you sense something, you don't even realize that you sense something and you say something, and this person gets really triggered. Like really triggered, they arc up, they fire up, and then they turn around and call you crazy, and all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, like where did that come from, right? What happened in that space is that, and this is something I learned over time, I was like, oh thank fuck, I finally understood that what happened is that, I'm going to use me, I intuitively picked up something from their subconscious. So say it was like, maybe they were talking about an issue they had just randomly, you know how people just do that with people like us, they just tell us all their problems, is that they told us, and just as an empath, we just intuitively know the answer. Like we just intuitively know the answer, and we literally just voice it because it just, again, we don't even think about it. It's not like, oh, that's because of this. Like we just literally voice that because that's just what we do. An empath, we just absorb and we just speak. Like that's just what happens. Then because that person shared, you just responded, because that's what we do. We just respond. We just talking, just our normal self. This person, what you've done is you've picked up a part of their subconscious, somewhat subconsciously, clairsentiently. You've voiced it to them without even realizing. This is the number one step where we don't even realize that we've done that. This person gets triggered, fired up, and they're like, what? Like, you know, turn around, call us crazy and all this stuff, and we're just like left like going like, what the hell? This used to happen to me all the time. Now, when I finally dawned on me that that's what was happening, that, I picked up their subconscious stuff, the intuitive answer, whatever you want to call it, I picked up what was really going on, because people like you and me, we usually are the truth bearers, where the people who drop straight into the core, right? All of my intuitive healers in Trust Intuition, they're the ones who, like, we go straight to the core. It's just something we do, right? We're deep, we're intuitive, we're highly sensitive, we're highly acutely aware of all the energies, and sometimes we don't know how to decipher them, and that's what Trust Intuition is for. But in that sense, what happens is that we start to understand that, oh my God, okay, cool, I picked up that stuff, and that's why they were triggered and turned around and said all that stuff to me. Now, the kind of next level of skill that happens in this space is, number one, the awareness that happens. Now, sometimes, like I said in the beginning, we pick it up, we don't even realize we pick it up, but we just voice it because we're just talking, but it's just us, that's who we are, right? And so what happens in that space, you're like, oh shit. And before we understand that that's what we've done, that we've picked up the subconscious, that we've dropped into the core, and the thing is here is that this person has reacted, called you crazy, etc., because that person is not even conscious of what's going on in their subconscious. Yeah? As an intuitive, deep person you pick up what that person's not even conscious of. They're not even conscious of it. Yeah? Literally, oh, sorry. Lena says, this literally just happened to me on Saturday. Of course it did. Let me know if this has happened to you before, yeah? There's a couple of you on here. So in that space, and the thing is that when we realize that not even that person was conscious of it, right? And the first bit that, like I said, the first stage is that you're not even conscious that you've picked up their stuff. It's just a big argument in a sense, right? Or you kind of hide away and you're like, whoa, I just won't say anything ever again. Like, and you shut yourself away, and not only that, you start to doubt yourself. You're like, oh, why did I say that? Or maybe that wasn't right. Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, you start to go in, you take on their words and you take on their energy, and again, you start to doubt yourself, and then you just kind of shut yourself down. This is not even shutting a gift down, because maybe you don't even realize that your gift was the one that was speaking, in a sense, right? And so you just shut down, and just shutting down like that just like shuts you down. You get depressed, you get covered in everyone else's energy, you get like low in energy, you just like, you hide away with a big cloak. You're like, I don't want to go out again, right? So the next kind of stage in mastering this skill is, number one, realizing that when a person speaks to you, it doesn't matter who it is, okay? If you have this level of gift, if you resonate with being an empath, if you resonate with being clairsentient, like whatever, right? If you guys follow me, you're probably on par with this, yeah? That this person, right, once you understand that, and that you pick up their subconscious, like, it doesn't matter who is talking to you, whether it's a friend, a colleague, a client, a partner, a stranger on the street, it doesn't matter who it is. That you, as a highly clairsentient, empath, sensitive, psychic healer, that's just that's who you are. You are that. You are this person who picks up any person's subconscious. Now, for me personally, unless I consciously tune into that person, right, without them speaking to me first, I don't just sense everyone's subconscious stuff. And maybe that's some sort of soul contract pact thing I made with myself early on, just like I do with mediumship, that like, unless this person starts talking to me, and it doesn't matter what they're talking about, that subconscious, what's really going on under the core, that just comes out. Like, I don't even ask for that. That's just what my energy picks up. Right? So when you understand the level of your gift like that, the point that you pick up their subconscious stuff, again, it doesn't matter who's talking to you, right? So you need to tune in with what is with you guys. Like, do you sense it just with anybody? Or is there a bit of a boundary there around only if that person's talking to you? So for me, it doesn't matter, like I said, what they're talking about, because usually they always tell you some sort of problem. It's just what we do. That's where it goes. Now, like I said, before I understood all this, I would just speak the answer intuitively without even realizing that's what I was doing. And that person, not even being conscious of that, would get triggered, they'd get upset, or they just never would speak to me again. And I didn't know what was going on, right? Nowadays, I'm mastering this gift, or I think I'm pretty damn good at it, right? And this really comes into the level of holding space. You know how we always talk about holding space and listening, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, blah, blah, blah. Hey, beautifuls. That the next kind of level of mastering your gift is, number 1, understanding that's what you do. Yeah? Next step is that when that person is talking away about whatever the fuck they're talking about, you're going to receive an answer. It's just what happens, right? Now, before you open your mouth, stay here. You might be receiving a damn lot of information, like heaps of information, right? You might be getting all the answers and you might want to go, right? The power, they always say the power in listening, right? And they always say the masters are the ones that listen more and talk less. I'm getting that right? Yeah? For this very reason. Now, in the start for me, I had the answer to everything, and I didn't, and again, there was another level of me not understanding my gift, is like, we get given the answer to everything, right? And in that space, I wanted to help because I can. I'm like, I know how to help you. And until I found this avenue online, I was like helping everyone in the street. Anyway, so with that sense, right, that you now understand that when that person's talking and before you'll want to just say something, and instead of just saying something, just take a moment to listen, and this person will more than likely keep talking, I guarantee you. When you can listen, well, not always, but then you can, so there's 2 things here, right? And number 1 is when you are able to, so this is the first bit, that when you know that you're receiving all this information about their core thing, where it started, what's going on, you have the answers to healer, blah, 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 right? When you have that level of awareness, and this is where I always talk about that your vibration shifts people without you doing a thing, because you're not actually not doing anything, but you are holding a deep level of awareness of that person's core subconscious thing that's going on. Like, you are holding that depth. You are seeing, knowing, feeling the solution to that person's problem that they're talking about in their subconscious. You just know that, whatever the way you receive your intuition, right? Now, you wouldn't even have to say a word, but your conscious understanding brings energy and light to that trauma thing, whatever's core issue. And this, with your conscious present, brings energy to that space. Now, what that's going to start doing is unlocking that seed or that subconscious lock, block, wound, whatever you want to call it. And that will naturally start rising for that person. They will naturally become aware of it eventually. They might not know that you were the person that was able to hold the space that did that, but they're going to feel better talking to you, I guarantee it. They'll be like, oh, I feel better now, or something, right? Or that conversation we had the other day, or can we catch up again? Whatever, right? So that's number 1, around holding the space, because even if it's an intimate partnership or whatever, sometimes it can be really hard to like hold that space when you know, and you just, maybe you want to say something. But when, again, if you imagine applying that to your relationship and just holding that space, you're very conscious of it. Because I know a lot of my past issues with my ex was because I was still in this coming into realizing this depth of gift, right? This has only came to me February last year. Yeah, this depth of understanding of what actually goes on in this space, right? And I was like, thank you. So when we have that level of awareness, this person shifts, right? Sometimes we can say, we might say something before we get to the level of holding space, for example, and we might say something and it'll be like, we'll say something, they'll be like, well, no, it's not, or whatever, they fight, and they might not go full out on you, right? But then they'll go away and then they'll come back and be like, oh, actually, you were right, or whatever. Or actually, I've come to this realization that, and in yourself, you're like, well, I knew that, right? Because you were already sensing it, right? So you can see how it can shift and heal people without you doing anything, but being conscious of your intuition and what you're receiving about the person, Now, how do you even approach someone or share something that is like really strong coming through your intuition around, you know, you're like, I don't really feel like I need to say something. I'm like, okay, but Hannah told me not to. Like, you know, what you can do is, number one, ask your intuition, like, you know, you can do that. I'm sure you can multitask. brave women and men like I can do a zillion things at once, yeah? You can be asking your intuition while this still person is talking and you're receiving all this information, and you'll be like, I feel like I need to say something, but I'm not sure. And you can literally ask your intuition, number one, am I meant to say something to this person? And obviously you'll get a yes or a no. If you get a yes, what I would actually say, like, you know, so you're getting a yes from your intuition, okay? Before you actually just blurt it out to the person, you might say, I've got a feeling about something about this, or I'm getting a message about this, like, or do you want me to share my opinion? Like, depending on who you're talking to is the language, right? You can actually ask them. You can say, do you want me to share my opinion on that? Because they might be like, oh, no, I'm not, no. Or they might be like, oh, yeah, I am, right? Because when you ask that question, instead of you just being your intuitive deep self and picking up the depths that person's not even conscious of, sometimes that subconscious can be really confronting for people. Everybody knows that's why people fire up and get triggered. When we can zone in, like when we can ask that question, ask your intuition, yes, or actually no. If it's a yes, you can say, do you want me to share? When that person says yes, what you've done is opened up the energy field. Rather than them just sharing all their problems with you, they've opened up the energy field, and so they're more open and receptive to receiving that healing that will naturally come through. Because in that space, they're more likely to go, oh, yeah, okay, because that's naturally come up. It's given permission for it to come up in a conscious way rather than an unconscious way, if that makes sense, right? So there is ways that you can speak. I'm not saying be mute and don't say anything. But, and you know, in the hardest way, I guess one of the most hardest way, challenging ways to implement this and to come to a mastery level is actually doing it real time with a person. It's all good to do a shadow meditation, or it's all good to, you know, like sit there and meditate, or listen to this live stream and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. Putting it into practice, practice. Yeah, because you know what it feels like to be triggered by something or someone. You know what that feels like, right? And that can come from many different things, and that's a whole nother subject in itself. So that is like, you know, like putting that into practice. And you know, you might be watch this live stream, and then you might go and, I don't know, live your life, and then something happens and you might be in it, and you're like, and this live stream will come back to mind, all these messages, and you'll be like, oh shit, that's right. And you can pull yourself in those moments. You can be like, oh shit, I'm feeling really upset about this, or I've had a reaction. I just need to go and like take some time, and I'll come back to this space and make a date and time and make sure you come back. So you're not leaving them in abandonment space. But you know, you can catch yourself in those moments, and when you do catch yourself in those moments, you know, like when you actually, you know, humble yourself down and like bring yourself to those spaces, it can be very healing for both spaces. Yeah, and you change the outcome. Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Great reminders. Oh, you can't sleep. Like, great to catch us. Yes. So Lena says, yes, I've noticed that being in my energy shifts people so freaking awesome. Yeah, and that's why. That's a big part of why, because as an intuitive, we pick up that depth and level of like subconscious, like that's just what we do, right? And the real fine-tuning and gift in ourselves really comes into when we can master this gift. Because when we do, and this is where I say it becomes your gift rather than your gift becoming a curse or feeling like it's using you, you get to master your gift. Like, you know, you have control over your gift, I guess you could say, in a way of training your energy awareness and your mind subconscious, and being aware of what you're actually picking up from other people and how to decipher those messages and all of that stuff, right? Which we go deep into, which is like trust intuition is that, yeah? Now, you know, in trust intuition, which, by the way, is super early bird is closing tonight. So only another few hours left on the super early bird, and then it increases to early bird, and then it'll be the final round at the end of October. So not long to go, guys. So the link is in the title of this live stream, or I'll share it in the comments after as well. But that's where we go in, because when we're in this space and we're like, okay, well, that's all well and good, Hannah, but what about those core wounds? Like, sometimes, yes, that awareness is enough to shift it. Sometimes that awareness unlocks a surface wound, but then there's core wounds under that thread that go deeper. Yeah, whether it's this life, past life, spreading off into other areas of, whether it's shadow work or whatever other connections. Yeah, because there's lots of different threads to clear one thread, if that makes sense, right? But in that field, there's like a whole web that connects into the other webs and to other people as well. Yeah, so in Trust Intuition, go deep into all those threads and webs. Yeah, because awareness is awesome. All this that I just taught you about mastering the reason why you end up doubting yourself, because if you can imagine, like, intuitively you're picking up something, and so you voice it to an unconscious person, like using that, but it's that sort of thing, right? You voice that to a person who's not aware of this stuff, and that person fires back at you, and they're like, what are you fucking talking about? That's not it. Like, and genuinely that person is in their truth in that moment, because what are you talking about? That's not what it is. What the fuck are you talking about, Hannah? Right? And all that is that is unconscious for them. You've picked it up, and that's correct. And this is where trusting your intuition comes in, okay? Because you've picked it up. But this person is in their authentic truth because they're not conscious of it. But the conscious reality, that's not the fucking truth. Hannah, what are you talking about? Right? But soon that will become conscious. And then they'll be like, oh, and that's what realizations are. That's what spiritual awakenings are. That's what aha moments are, is a part of your subconscious becoming conscious. Yeah? So Samantha says, looking back at my past, this is what was going on with me all the time. And now I do this and don't always speak. Yes, we don't usually need to speak, because sometimes even in those moments and we're just holding that space, people come to that realization and you'll be like, oh yeah, I knew that. Right? Oh, so good. Okay, so you can see your gifts now. Yay, Tammy. Awesome. So Penelope says, why do we sometimes get a feeling of paralysis from some people? So not just when you sleep, so just when you're with them, is that what you mean? So Kelly says, this is why I was not always patient with people. I detect their bullshit so much. I just want to not be with people so much. Yeah. So many victims in my life, or so it seems. Yeah. And so remember that we pick up in people what exists within us. So this is where shadow work comes in. That all these victim blamey people and whinging and not respecting boundaries and carrying on and blah, 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 blah. We can see that in them. And what's really going on, i.e. victim thread, so much to that, right? We see that in them because, number one, we've maybe just shifted out of that. We were that. We used to carry that because, and this is the thing with our own personal development work and working with people who do this stuff all the time and come in, in this space, because as we grow and evolve and, number one, become aware of it, we don't do that behavior anymore. When we are recognizing it in somebody else, it is time to integrate it within ourselves. So we can cut, and this is where a lot of people get stuck at, right? They like clear their energy and they, cut everyone out of their life, like cut all these people out of their life. They're clearing their energy every day or whatever they're doing, But if you don't do the core integration work of quote unquote why you cut that person out of your life, or you're seeing all this victim stuff and you can cut all these people out of your life, but if you do not integrate that victim part of you that is really pissing you off right now about other people, yeah, when you move house, when you get a new job, when you get a new relationship, that victim thread will still be there in another person because your soul, spirit, whatever is like, hello, you're going to integrate this. I'm going to keep bringing all these people until you do. Yeah? So when you can recognize that even with your gift, when you are picking up something in somebody's subconscious and whether you're holding space or speaking, because You have picked it up in that person. You are conscious of it because you, number one, have that within you, and it's coming to light for you so that you can shift it within you, because when you shift it within you, this person naturally shifts too, and they'll either shift and have the realization and go, and they'll shift and grow with you together, or that person will shift out of your life and you'll come into alignment with more people who are in alignment with that new energy and vibration. Does that make sense? Yeah? Integrate it. Yes, I know you are. Working with you in WhatsApp, it's awesome. Seeing your growth, it's amazing. Okay, so Penelope says, yes, after a conversation with them, they leave their energy on us like a narcissistic attack. Okay, so the thing with narcissistic, so just exactly like I just shared there with the victim, the exact same thing is with the narcissistic. Yeah, now a lot of people don't like hearing this, but we also have the narcissistic person within us. We also have the murderer within us. We also have all these parts within us. So people don't like that. Some people are not ready to hear that. But when you are experiencing all this narcissistic energy stuck on you, it then gives you a question to ask, why is that stuck on me? Because when we've truly integrated something, say, let's use that victim thing that I was saying, when we've truly integrated the victim, like I said, two things will happen. And it's integrating whatever aspect, yeah? Put any aspect in that space. When we truly integrate that, like I said, that person will have a realization, they'll shift, and it'll come up to their consciousness and they'll be like, okay, I'm so sorry, or okay, well, how can we make this better? And conscious communication will move forward in that, okay, and grow together. The people who are not willing to quote unquote face that or deal with that in the depths of working in subconscious, and sometimes people shift without doing deep work, and I really want to acknowledge that. It's just like, for me, self-care, could be having a sleep. Some people, and I meditate to connect, some people surf to connect. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be doing like to be able to get the conscious realization. Sometimes that's surfing for people, like, but they're very conscious aware, but they're not doing the deep work, but they're shifting with their conscious awareness. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want to say that too. But so when you recognize that in somebody and you're like, oh my God, they're so narcissistic. And you're just like, what the fuck? And then that person leaves and you're like, oh my God, they're so narcissistic. What you're doing is you're judging that person. You can see it in them. And usually we get triggered. We carry their energy and we are still like really like, get away from it. It's exactly what I was sharing then around like, if you don't integrate it fully, then you will keep attracting it in your life, and you can cut out every single person from your life. You can move country. You can cut every single person you've ever known, start a new Facebook account, start a new phone number, start a new identity. And you will continue to attract those people in your life if you don't do the deep integration work with it. And this is where in Trusting Intuition, we do that, because there is no true healing until you've done that. Like, that is core. Now, a couple of things is that some people think that cutting everyone out of their life and doing chakra clearing every day and then wondering why still nothing is working is because removing yourself from people, whether it's for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a couple of years, and like doing energetic clearing, like chakra clearing, taking care of yourself, that is number one step. That is module 1 in Trust Intuition. There is 4 other modules in Trust Intuition for a reason. Without this number 1 step of taking care of yourself, yes, sometimes you need to remove yourself from people, right? But you need to also then do the deeper work to, not attract it anymore. And that's where the whole core wounding of the subconscious, that's what we do in Trust Intuition. Like, that is the subconscious. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are learning how to take care of ourselves. We are learning how to clear our energy, because without that grounding foundation, we can't do the deeper work. It doesn't stick. It doesn't. Because, and this is why I'm always harping on to people about clear your energy, chakra clearing here, chakra clearing here, do the meditation. It's free. You've got no excuse, right? Because you need to, the first kind of port of call is being able to clear your energy, is being able to understand your chakra system, is to be able to understand when you're carrying somebody's energy, by, and you understand how you are carrying somebody's energy and you're just not anxious and crazy, you're actually carrying the energy, and you learn how to distinguish that from clearing your chakras and checking in your aura and seeing if your energy's in there or somebody else's energy in there. It's a number one step, but there's 5 other modules in Trust Intuition for a reason, yeah? I tried cutting people out. Yes, like a step into our own power. Yes, exactly. So it's so interesting. And yeah, as Emma says, indeed, I've been running away my whole life until now. Exactly. We can do all those things and cut it out. But, I harp on about it. Clear chakras, do this, do this, do this, because it's number one step. Like, it is the first step in your spiritual awakening to understand your chakras, clear your energy and stuff, because then the deeper healing can take place, because this is a support system. This is learning how to crawl before you walk, right? You can't be a baby and just jump into walking. Like, it doesn't work like that, right? And it's the same thing with spiritual development. We need to learn how to take care of ourselves. We need to learn how to understand what works for us and what doesn't, and and have that conscious awareness of how to take care of ourselves energetically, emotionally, physically. Like, those things are a precursor to doing the deeper work, yeah, in the subconscious. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, and that's, in Trust Intuition, as I always harp on about to everyone, like, that is all the tools you need. Like, and I'm constantly making it better and updating it. And as I keep saying, the super early bird is closing this evening, and then it goes up to early bird in a week. And then after that, the final week in October, it goes up to the final round. Now, this round of investing in Trust Intuition and joining our tribe, which you get lifetime access to, you get the Facebook group support call. So if you've got personal questions about life, relationships, energies, your business, something else, anything you need support with, because it all relates to your intuition, your entire life relates to your intuition. There is no separation there. That when you look at this, like that support, like I can give you the personalized group support coaching, yeah? So you get that fortnightly in the Trust Intuition group. Plus there's the psychic development classes once a week, which you guys got a taste of last week when we activated our third eye and then did the third eye, what was it? The psychic development, where we all like tuned in to what those items were, right? So that goes down every month in Trust Intuition. There's 12 months access to the Facebook group in there, and then after that it's just a $97 annual fee to stay in the group, but you still get access to the course. So you don't have to stay in the Facebook group if you don't want to, but that is there. But after this, like I keep saying to people when someone messaged me and they're like, do you have any cheaper courses like for the certification? And I'm like, this is a certification. Like, I've got plenty of other courses, but they're not certified. So this is a complete certification. It's an accredited training. You can gain insurance through the company as well. You don't have to go through me, but you are accredited intuitive healer and life purpose activator, meaning you can get insurance. You can step into doing that as your business, and it's fully professional in that sense, right? Plus, you're being trained by the best healer on the planet. So, right? So in that sense, I've obviously, you've seen me shift a lot. I've, changed my website, coming into my own. You guys probably feeling it, and seeing it as well. And I've had some pretty big shifts from like August to now. August was a very, very transformative month for me, letting go of so many things, and it's just becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. And if you've just joined Trust Intuition on this round, and then you've seen the post that I've put in and shared with the Trust Intuition group about where this is actually going, yeah, there's some big things happening here. And so I'm really excited about where this is transforming into. So as I always keep sharing that this round of investment into Trust Intuition in October now, you will never see this low price again. So if you are on the fence or you're like, I'm not sure, in 6 months time, you're probably going to wish that you took the leap of faith, right? So you feel it? Yes. Okay, Samantha says, okay, I'm loving all of this. Yes, makes me realize how much I've evolved. Yes. No wonder people say I've changed. Yes. Isn't that the best? You're like, what? I'm more me now. What are you talking about? I've changed. But yeah, they sense that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so I wonder if that helps explain that question for you, Penelope, about that. Okay, so that is why we doubt ourselves and hide our gift. And I want to share with you now the winners for our draw. So I'm a little bit excited. Going to put them into my bowl. Oh. So hello, Julian, and everyone joining. Okay, so I've got 3 days to pull. So day 1, day 2, and day 3. And this is the winners for the draw that they win a 30-minute psychic reading with me. This is from our Psychic Skills Activator. So if you shared, yay, you can move forward again. Awesome. I love hearing that, Daniel. So glad it's helped. So this is day 1. So Ali got all these together for me. So, and this is day 1 of all these people who shared the live stream from day 1, day 2, and day 3 and commented on there that they had shared it. So these are the bits of paper from day 1. So I'm putting them in there and I'm not looking. See, I'm not looking. I'm choosing one. Okay, this one. Okay, let's see who this is. Adele Smith. Okay, and so we have till Sunday midnight to contact me to book in. If not, there'll be, I'm going to pull an extra person from each day, that in case they don't contact me. So Adele Smith. So that is day 1 winner. I'll put that up there. Okay, just so you guys know what I'm doing. I'm popping it back in there. So it's all in there. So that's day 1. Putting the day 1 piece back in there. All right, day 2. This is the day 2. Can you see it in there? Day 2. All right, so I'm popping that in there. I'm going to pull the day 2 piece out. And I'm not looking. This is the winner for day 2. This one. All right. Oh, it is so humid here today. It's so windy, hot and steamy, and then it's going to storm in a minute. All right, I need to double check the surname. Congratulations, Debbie. Yes. I mean, Adele. This is Debbie. So Debbie, I don't know if that's John's or Loans. I need to double check that because I've cut off the writing. But Alice put that on there. So Debbie, all right, so it is our day 2. And I'm going to put day 2 in here. And these bits back in here. All right, day 2. This is day 3. Oh, you can't see this one. Day 3. All right, here we go. Hey, look, it even makes a sound. Doesn't make its own singing sound. All right, this one, day 3. Who's this one? Angelica? I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but I've seen you on my live stream. So Angelica, is it Baralio? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Pronouncing names and remembering names, not my strong point. All right. So Angelica. So that's day 3 winner. Now, until Sunday midnight, those 3 winners need to contact me via watching my live stream. If not, there's going to be a backup person. So I'll start with day 3, seeing as though it's here. So the backup person, if they don't contact me by Sunday midnight Australian Eastern Standard Time, this is the backup person for day 3. So Nilina, I think that's how you pronounce it, Nilina Timmons. Yeah? So that's the backup person for day 3. And I'm going to put these back in here. Ah, it's all empty. Alright, day 2. Oops, this one was day 2, wasn't it? Day 2. Day 2. Siri. I don't know how that sounded like Siri, but... Go ahead. It's okay, Siri, I didn't need your help, thanks. Okay, day 2, backup person. Alright, this one is Deborah Gabbard. So that's the backup person if the first 3 people don't get back to me by Sunday midnight. So that is day 2. And this one is day 3, I'm pretty sure. Or day 1. We're going backwards, yeah. So day 1, this is the backup person for day 1 if those people don't get in contact with me. Ah, Debbie. Debbie's got 2 chances. Yes. So, because remember, if you guys had shared it every day, you go in the chance every day. So Debbie's got a backup for day 1, right? And Debbie was day 2 just then. So Debbie, you got 2 chances to get back to me. All right, that is day 1. Yeah, for the backup people as well, yeah. Didn't plan to do that, but it makes sense. Oh my goodness, I'm getting really hot. It is like super muggy now. Okay, so thanks for joining, guys. All right, I'm going to finish with a bit of this because why not, right? So Trust Intuition closes this evening at midnight Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it's about 6 hours from now, 6-7 hours. And then the super early bird super early bird investment increases to the early bird for a week, and then the last week of October is the final round, and it is the final chance to get in ever at this low investment, because everything's getting more amazing and I can't wait to share it all with you, but you're gonna have to wait unless you're in Trust Intuition. So let's finish with this deep clarity of self, the deep awareness that comes into the truth of who you are. A deep, powerful soul within you being activated, awakened, and brought to the conscious awareness of the truth of who you are, of your soul's divine mission, your awareness of self, of soul. Bring forth into your every breath your energy, your grounded sense of awareness, who you are, every breath, your blood, your bones, every chakra expanded, every system repaired, your aura cleansed, open and expanded, complete, filled with energy, divine, pure, crystalline energy that is you, this activated now, and for every breath that you take from this moment forward.